I cannot think I cannot think of any other time that is more cataclysmic than now. Politically, geopolitically, in terms of every aspect of our society. Political, MAGA, Republican, conservative, war, Iran, Israel, Russia, MAGA, America first, internecine battles, Trump against Tucker, America first against the stalwarts, people breaking away, Elon reconnecting, Starlink in Iran. This is a battle which the United States has just engaged in and didn't have to. Let me say this again. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you're left or right or MAGA or Biden. It doesn't matter. America is involved in areas of battle and war and conflict it doesn't have to be, that it has no business being in. We never learn. Never. And there is this very loud and very small contingent basically beating the drum for war. But remember, they're not getting into war. We're getting into war. It's like some drunk in a bar fight going up to somebody and saying, yeah, well, my buddies are going to take you on. And you're saying, wait a minute, hold it. What is this now? Am I involved in this? What am I doing? You're engaging me in this? Wait. I don't even know what this is about. I don't even know who these people are. I got enough problems. I'm going to get into a bar fight now with who? Why? No. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. And the biggest quizzlings, the biggest betrayers of truth, Fox News. And right now there is a battle among our group, so to speak, weird folks who are moving ahead. So far, in the podcasting battle, Joe Rogan is number one. But the most politically significant commentator today, because of the kind of unpredictable but populist and very likable approach, is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is what everybody loves, the maverick, somebody who is politically and intellectually attractive, not a lot of depth, meaning, I'm not saying he's a simpleton by any stretch of the imagination, but his ideas are very easy to understand, not nuanced. And he basically is thrown down the gauntlet, challenging President Trump. I did a video just now that just dropped minutes before. Check that out. But also this week, today is the end of Bilderberg. Bilderberg is the most important issue there is because it's geopolitical. It is transhumanism meets every evil you can imagine, and yet nobody knows about it still. And the person who was the first to call America and the world to it was Alex Jones and Jim Tucker and others. He was the first one. And it's so critical and nobody knows anything about it. So my friends, get ready. Buckle up. This is one for the ages. Listen carefully. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Make sure you like this video. But before we begin, this incredible word from our sponsor. Gold has remained a cornerstone of global wealth and financial security for centuries. And in times of economic uncertainty and inflation, gold is seen as a safe haven. With all-time high gold prices and renewed interest in precious metals, the demand for new high-grade gold discoveries is surging, and that's where I want to talk to you about a company called Opawica Explorations Incorporated. They trade on the U.S. market using the ticker symbol OPWEF, and they could well be positioned to capitalize on this trend, offering investors exposure to potential upside in the heart of Quebec's prolific mining country. They have their flagship gold exploration projects in Quebec's world-renowned Abitibi Gold Belt, and they're purely focused on achieving their next major goal, making the next significant gold discovery in one of the world's richest mining regions. Quebec is consistently ranked as one of the world's top mining jurisdictions, renowned for its strategic locations for trade with the U.S., stable regulations, infrastructure, and rich mineral endowment. The Abitibi Gold Belt alone has produced over 190 million ounces of gold from 120 mines. Opawica's properties are strategically located near these giants, with one of the largest producing gold mines right next door to their Arrowhead property. They are literally surrounded by billion-dollar properties. Opawica's flagship Bazooka and Arrowhead properties are at the center of the action. The Bazooka property, adjacent to Yamana Gold's Wasamac project, has shown impressive gold grades in the past, and with the company launching an ambitious 20,000-meter drill program across its key project, the timing couldn't be better for investors looking to capitalize on the gold rush. One of the world's premier gold investors, Eric Sprott, is a major shareholder in Opawica Explorations. Sprott made a personal $1 million investment in the company's oversubscribed $5.28 million private placement, demonstrating strong confidence in Opawica's exploration potential and management team. His involvement places Opawica among a select group of junior explorers with direct backing from one of the most respected figures in the global gold investment community. Opawica's properties benefit from excellent infrastructure, including hydropower, road access, and proximity to mining services, allowing for cost-effective and sustainable exploration. This operational efficiency means more capital can be focused on drilling and resource expansion, enhancing shareholder value. With gold prices at record highs and the growing importance of domestic mineral production in North America, Opawica is uniquely positioned for growth. The company's ambitious exploration plans, prime location, and a world-class gold district and impressive historic results make it a compelling opportunity for investors seeking exposure to the next wave of gold discoveries. Opawica Explorations is currently trading around 11 cents per share, and with a comparable project in the area selling for $4.8 billion in 2023, the company could represent a significant opportunity for investors. With major drill programs underway, strong backing from Eric Sprott, and leadership from CEO Blake Morgan, a third-generation miner and the company's largest shareholder, Opawica offers substantial potential upside as it advances its exploration efforts. Thanks to Opawica Explorations for sponsoring today's video. You can get their latest presentation here on their website at opawica.com. This video is conducted on behalf of Opawica Explorations and was funded by Capitalize on It. I have been compensated for this video. I only express my opinion based on my experience. Your experience may be different. These videos are for educational and inspirational purposes only. Investing of any kind involves risk. While it is possible to minimize risk, your investments are solely your responsibility. It is imperative that you conduct your own research. There's no guarantee of gains or losses on investments. Please do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not a financial advice channel. All information is provided strictly for educational purposes. It does not take into account anybody's specific circumstances or situation. If you are making investment or other financial management decisions and require advice, please consult a suitably qualified licensed professional. The securities of Opawica Explorations are speculative, and the company has not yet achieved consistent positive cash flow from operations. As a growth stage company, it anticipates negative cash flow for the foreseeable future as it focuses on development and commercialization efforts. Parties viewing this video should thoroughly review the company's public disclosure and documents available at sedarplus.ca. It is impossible right now for me to put into perspective how critical this is, because I always sound like these people who always sound like everything's critical. Everything is the end of the world. This is bigger than anything I've ever seen. And the reason why is it doesn't lend itself. It doesn't fall into a particular category. People love black and white. Can't say it enough. They love black and white. They love the idea of just a very simple, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Who are these people? What do I believe? Tell me. Fill me in. Fill me in. This is what people believe. Fill me in. That's all they know. What do I believe? Who is Tell me. Don't make it difficult. Don't make me read, and don't ask me to do my independent research. Please, please, please don't. I like this, and I like Trump, and I don't want to hear anything bad about Trump. Don't tell me anything about him. I love him. It was his birthday yesterday. Don't tell me he did anything wrong. I don't even know what that means. I'm just a kind of a half-assed Republican, I guess. I don't know, but I really need you to help me. All right, I'll help you. And what's this Bilderberg? Are you talking about that again? What does that even mean? Do I really, honestly, do I really need to worry about this? Look, aren't these groups just a bunch of people who get together and you've been talking about this? Is this one of these Alex Jones things? You may not be thinking this, but people are thinking this. Because this doesn't lend itself. It doesn't lend itself to any kind of easy to understand, easy to grasp appreciation. And what makes people the most upset is when I tell them that the number one person, or group you have to really be careful of, I'm very upset about, it's Fox News. They don't want to hear anything about this. In the least. Nothing. Fox News is their friend. Because unfortunately, for reasons I don't understand, politics has become very, very kind of minimalistic, very simple, kind of simple. It's a bunch of nice people who say, hi, I like this. I love Trump. Last night it was wonderful. Did you happen to see this event? Oh my God, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It was the most beautiful, the most gorgeous. My God, the God bless America was wonderful. How can anybody be? This is a great guy. And it is true. It is true. But you see, the problem is that politics is like a buffet. It sounds good. When you walk in, they go, oh, this is great. Look at this buffet. I knew people who, I never understood a buffet. Buffet basically means get off your ass and fix it yourself. I never grasped the notion of a buffet. I don't know why people like it. I don't get it. Hey, a salad bar. No, you make my salad. I don't want to make my salad. You make it. No, make it yourself. I don't want to make it myself. It was the weirdest thing. I remember there was a place called Steak and Ale years ago in Tampa. There was people loved it. Hey, there's a salad bar. You can go to no, you make it. But sometimes when you go into that buffet, you look and you go, that's not bad. Oh, that's real good. What is this? This is garbage. That's politics. Here's Trump. Good. What? Good. What? Kash Patel. What? Dan Bongino. What? Pam Bondi. What? Marco Rubio. Who? Jared Kushner. What? See? And then we say, no, don't veer from this. Don't say anything against him. You don't understand. He's the greatest thing that's ever happened. You can't ever say, no, you'll lose your MAGA decoder ring. Really? Sorry. Nobody explained that one to me. I didn't hear that rule. I wasn't there for that one. Sorry about that. Didn't hear about that rule. No. So let's start off right now with one thing. The most ridiculous thing that we are doing is involving ourselves in attacking Iran. Happy Father's Day to the conspiratorium in Trump. Indeed, Raul. Indeed. Iran is none of our business. You start off by saying the world is dangerous if Iran has a nuclear bomb. Okay. All right. So you're going to bomb it? Wait. You said Iran is dangerous. All right, I'll give you that. The world is better off with no nuclear bomb. Okay. Pakistan, well, France, well, Great Britain, well, us, well, Israel. Israel claims it doesn't happen. Come on. Stop it. We got to play this game. Johnny Matt says, is anybody reporting that Bibi allegedly flew into Athens hours after attacking Iran? Don't know about that one. He's going to be on with, who is it? Brett Bear? Brett Bear. Oh, they're going to kill. I mean, you have been so conditioned to not even say the name Israel. Don't even say it. If you say it, there's this condition of, uh-oh, because you start, remember the old days when people would say, it was the classic notion of that Seinfeld episode. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Remember that one, that big joke? Not that there's anything wrong with it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Remember that one? You were so conditioned, and people still, that really spoke to a very, very, very serious news. And this is the most important part of the world. This is the most important thing in the world, where people would say things like, and this is incredible, they wouldn't. Okay. So, they want you to understand that if you veer into that, if you think racism is tough, if you think being called a racist is tough, if you think being called, you don't want to be called an anti-Semite. You don't want to be called an anti-Semite. Because if you are, that is it. That is no man's land. And what they did was they took Israel, which is a state, a nation state, there's nothing like this. We are not a Christian country. We are, and this is the notion of Zionism, which is not ever uttered on regular conventional news sources. But think about this. They said Israel is the Jewish state. But Israel, well, what does that mean? It is a Jewish state. Are we a Christian state? No. We're American. There are people who are from Israel whose their families never been from Palestine. Never. They're from Eastern Europe. Doesn't matter. Okay, fine. So we're into this weird thing. Nobody's ever thought about this. They say we want to be a Jew is to Israel what Japanese is to Japan. And you're thinking, wait a minute, what? It's a concept that nobody's ever given a lot of thought or talk. We're not going to argue Zionism. We're not going to do anything. But before you get into that, these are arguments that have never, ever been discussed. Because you do not want there to be a separation between the independent state of Israel and Judaism. Most of us, I think I can speak with good authority, I don't think any of us have a problem with anybody and their particular faith. I see a lot of people sometimes say things. I've heard Laura Loomer and others talk about Muslims and Islam. I was like, well, there are 2 billion Muslims on the planet. 2 billion. If 10% exhibited this, quote, jihadist, which is the wrong term, that would be 200 million crazy, fire-breathing, suicide bomber. No. Most of everybody are peaceful. Jews, Palestinians, Mohammedans, as they used to be called. Doesn't matter. We're the same. Countries are a different story. Mrs. Stacy Sullivan says, hey, Lionel, happy Father's Day to the dads. Member of the Van Buren boys. 8-finger salute. Seinfeld only. I wish we weren't involved in any of that. Israel versus Iran, not for me. Absolutely not. I'm with you. I am with you 100%. Please sign up for the newsletter. I've got one coming up July 19th at the Cutting Room. Oh my God. I don't even know why. The news changes daily. But the message I have, and we'll get to Bilderberg in a minute because that's what you have to know. The thing you have to understand, and I want everybody to go out there after we're done to go out into the world and spread the word. And pledge the following. America first. America first means America first. Tucker, remember, there's a newsletter coming out. Sign up now. You can go into in fact, what I'll do is I'll put up a link right here for you to sign up if you haven't done it already. Tucker Carlson is quickly emerging as the voice of a new, I've seen this before. Believe me, I've been doing this for a little bit. There are pockets of people represented by different folks. Little background. See if I can give this to you. As you know, dear friend, Tucker, Piers Morgan is a cretin. Piers Morgan is a bona fide 100% cretin. He is a cretin. He is cretinous. Piers Morgan is a cretin. Piers Morgan finally understood that it is okay for him. Oh, put it this way. He has finally just admitted to, or he has finally just acknowledged that the Israel situation may be a bit of a problem. And he now is against, he has Anna Emphysema, Casper Degian, or whatever from the Young Turds. He now says he figures he got the all clear. Okay. And let me see. I just pinned it. This is the sign up for the newsletter. Sign up now. It's going out later. And I've got some great stuff out there. Sign up. Check your spam filter and all that. It's free. Nothing to worry about. Just sign up. Piers Morgan has apparently received the word that it's okay now to stand against this war. However you want to say it. It's not against Israel. It's not pro-Iran. We have no business there. America first means America first. Let me give you a little bit right now. If I could. I want to give you a bit of, we'll get to Bilderberg. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to make sure we get to that. I want you to read this. Let me see if I can get this to you. It's a good one. Uncle Lenny's been up early this morning. Early. Let me see. Here we go. No, it's not it. And here it is. Here we go. Okay, listen to this. Let me read this to you. Give you a hint. Give it a little bit of a in fact, let me do this. I want you to hear this because it's really good. And sometimes in the course of this, the good thing about writing is that you can be a little bit more, dare I say, thorough in your ideations and your explications and expatiations. And that's the way I think most of us should do. Father, I hope you read a while back my piece on Occam's razor, because people do not know about Occam's razor. They don't understand. It's really Hickham's dictum, which is what they mean to speak. Okay, let me bring this up to you. This is the letter that's going out today. Okay, so listen to this. The real divide that is facing the conservative movement in 2025 isn't between those who support Israel and those who support Iran or the Palestinians. That's a false dichotomy, one carefully constructed to silence critics of war by framing them as disloyal or naive. No. The true divide is this. Those who casually or even gleefully encourage violence versus those who seek to prevent it. It's the battle between warmongers and peacemakers. And that battle is now being waged within the MAGA movement itself. At the center of the controversy is President Trump's full-throated, unconditional, unwavering support of Israel's deadly military campaign against Iran. Going on now, as we speak, new efforts, which Tucker Carlson and others have publicly condemned. Piers Morgan, who is a cretin, he's the Geraldo Rivera without the gravitas. Even he says, this is barbaric. In Tucker Carlson's view, this strike and the Trump administration's quiet support of it represents not strength, but surrender. surrender to the same neocon machine that has dragged America into endless, costly, and morally disastrous foreign wars for decades. You hear that? And right now I can hear you. You're nodding. You're saying, yes. Tucker's most recent editorial didn't pull punches. While acknowledging that the U.S. military wasn't directly involved in the strike, he made it clear that years of funding, arms transfers, and strategic cover tie Washington to the operation. Not only that, they don't have the satellite technology. They don't have the intel constantly. They don't have the bombs and the explosives and the destructive material. And President Trump, Carlson noted, had recently boasted on Truth Social about providing exactly that kind of support. While the same people are, while he's saying, well, we're still negotiating with Iran, which other people are saying, this is a lie. You lied. This was all being planned. That was a cover to throw people off. But Carlson's criticism went further. He named names: Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Rupert Murdoch, Ike Perlmutter, Miriam Adelson. These, he says, are the true warmongers. They are the people calling for airstrikes, calling for American boots on the ground, calling for another war that will sacrifice American blood and treasure for someone else's strategic agenda. And he warns they will all have to answer for it. This is the point. Remember, sign up for this newsletter. This is no longer a policy disagreement. It's moral rupture. Carlson and others are arguing that America First has been twisted and contorted and bended into something it was never meant to be, a rhetorical shield for pro-war lobbying, not a sincere doctrine of national interest and restraint. The problem, Tucker says, is that too many in Trump's orbit now see America First as a slogan, as a lapel pin. Remember what I'm saying about lapel pins. Lapel pins are the tip-off right off the bat. If you can reduce your ideology, your ideation, and I'm not talking about an American flag, which is okay. But I mean, when you see people wearing, I haven't seen Palestinian flags, but America with Israel or America, we're American. It's like I feel the same thing about dual citizenship. Why are you a Scottish citizen? And I don't understand. They've replaced prudence with provocation. And that shift, according to Tucker, has left the country vulnerable not only to international blowback, but to internal decay. Mark my words. The president has no idea what's happening here. And remember, he may not be able to feel it by the time he leaves office, but this rift is not going anywhere. The Gaza situation has become an emotional, an ethical flashpoint. As we see footage of bombed out schools, hospitals, and apartment buildings circulated globally, many Americans, including a number of conservatives, are asking hard questions. Why is our government silent in the face of apparent war crimes? Or the G word. Genocide was a word that wasn't even uttered. Now everybody's saying it. Everybody. And people that we consider to be kind of moderates. Mearsheimer at first was even hesitant. Well, genocide. Might be massacre. Might be. Even he's saying it. Colonel McGregor. Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs is, I remember, and Rush is sitting back like this, watching this. Why are we shipping weapons while children are pulled from rubble? Why are we expected to cheer? I don't understand it. There's a woman I hear about. I saw a couple of clips. She's on Fox News. She's just clapping. She's a mother. She figures, hey, I'm in. I'm going to protect this paycheck. Yeah, baby. Burn, baby, burn, or whatever it is. Yeah. Whoa, kill those. Kill them. Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? Now, Trump, for his part, has insisted that Iran must not obtain nuclear weapons. Full stop. Okay. And that line has become the foundation of his justification for Israel's operation. It's like saying, that's it. Can't have them. And he argues that preventing Iran from developing a nuclear bomb, I guess, is not a foreign concern, but a matter of American national security. Really? But that reasoning is falling apart, falling flat, with a growing group and segment of MAGA base members. Many are questioning why diplomacy is no longer an option. Why do we? I'm not saying let's stop this. Do we just blow people up? Why does every crisis end in missiles? Why do so many establishment voices, Murdoch, Hannity, Levin, always leap toward war? Look, Sean Hannity has, to his credit, never veered, never varies. You don't even have to ask him. You can just go to a magazine. You can go to others and say, I'll tell you what Sean thinks. Sean is like the moon. He reflects the sun's light. He's not he's not a star. He's a moon. He reflects the light coming from elsewhere. And this rift, by the way, this division goes a lot deeper than policy. It's philosophical, it's spiritual, it's religious. Can a movement built on distrust of the globalist war machine now embrace it? Now reach out and hug it and its tactics? Can Donald Trump still claim the America First, mantle, if you will, while aligning and gearing up and hitching to Israel's unilateral military actions? As Tucker challenges the narrative, the America First base is forced to choose: stick with Trump no matter what, or defend the principle even if it means questioning the man who coined it. By the way, it was Charles Lindbergh did this, which is another issue. Now the left, not the radical left, but the left, predictably is thrilled because they see this division as MAGA's unraveling. But to the movement's sincerest acolytes and adherents, it is a necessary confrontation, a refining fire or lime. So what does it mean to be America First in 2025? Does it mean refusing to send troops, but sending weapons anyway? Does it mean condemning endless war, but justifying targeted assassinations and preemptive covert operations? Or does it mean stepping back entirely, reasserting our American, jurisdiction and sovereignty, embracing the notion of restraint and peace? Remember that as virtues? This was the Democratic Party when I was growing up. Those are the cool people. Anti-war. These aren't easy questions, but Tucker's stance is clear. If America First is to mean anything, it must reject war as a default setting. It means nothing to us. Like these little pipsqueaks on Fox News sitting on the couch. These little missies, all of a sudden, tough gals. There's nothing worse, as you know this. Please don't take this the wrong way. Cops will tell you. The worst people to deal with in a bar fight are women, drunk women. I know this sounds terrible. They're really tough. They love to be tough. These little princesses were shitting their pants if all of a sudden they came first. Up. If they had to reach in and just pull out some tattered mush that was a child. And see, you don't understand this. The PTSD that these soldiers are feeling. See, you think they're in lockstep. Oh, no, they're not. No. I know there's this, and the Israeli military, what they've done is incredible. There's no doubt about that. But they're still a volunteer group, and they're not what you think because they are fighting their civil wars that occur in your neck of the woods with people who look kind of like you. A lot of people are Arabic and speak back. This is just brutal. And don't forget, Bibi Netanyahu is this close from being indicted. He's hanging on. He's hanging on to his political career. And many, many people are suspecting that maybe he's doing this just for his own particular political going. We'll see. But what Tucker's doing is Tucker has exposed a bitter truth. The movement that he helped elevate now teeters, on the edge of its own contradiction. That Donald Trump, its leader, in defending one set of principles, may have compromised another. What do we stand for? And that is for the battle of the soul of America. Okay? And America first. It's not in the hand of politicians. It's in the heart of people. So they got to ask you, where do you feel? That's not with me. Don't count me in that. You may love Donald Trump. God bless him. You can count me. You can forget about that with me. No way. Johnny Maz says, why is Iran not allowed to have a nuclear weapon? But I remember correctly, the United States dropped 2 on Japan. Go figure this one out. If you can figure this one out, you let me know, big guy. You let me know. Okay? Because I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I really don't. This is it. And I know you love Trump, and I love him too, but I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing all the time. Not always. Remember, I'll take him at his worst. I told you this the other day, and I'm going to say it again. Mrs. L this week was in D.C. She knows this. She knows it at a level you can't imagine, okay? She deals with people from every conceivable angle. I guess you might be able to, you wouldn't be able to understand or to grasp. And one of the things she said, which is the most important, which is absolutely most important, so critical, the thing that she noticed that everybody told her, was that there is a, how do I say this? There is a, I want to get this Bilderberg. I want to get this group of, this is very, very important. There are people, one in particular, not going to mention her name, Democrat, hardcore, works in D.C. If you work there, it's a different, you have a different attitude of politics than you would normally. If that makes any sense. You work there, you understand how things work. Okay. And he said to her, remember, this is a Democrat. And others were sitting around and said, oh yeah. It was common knowledge. Are you listening to me? Are you listening? It was common knowledge. Understood that Biden was never there. He was in Rehoboth Beach or whatever. He was in Delaware. He was never there. There was no Joe Biden. Now ask yourself a question. If this could go on for this long without everybody noticing it, if it could go on for this long, what do you think could or should be said about? Well, I got to tell you something. We don't know. There are different levels of understanding that we know. We know, we kind of think we know, and there are others, but you have to understand the game. The first thing is this group, by the way, I found this. This came with a chair. Is this a great weapon? Look at this thing. This is a screw. This is a thing to go in and turn this particular whatever. Can you imagine sticking this in somebody? I'm keeping this one. Is this a weapon? I don't know. It's a wrench. Look at it. It fits right in your hand. I mean, this is really, wow. And if it doesn't puncture, it just hurts. That's all I'm saying. And this, of course, is a prehistoric shark tooth. And you're asking, what does it have to do with anything? The answer is nothing. I'm just showing you this. Okay. So this is a world that we don't understand. So we can sit there and go, la, 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 and MAGA, 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 and hey, isn't this great? And the good news is the No Kings yesterday thing was a joke. It was a flop. It was a flop. The No Kings thing, all it was it gave B-roll to the Republicans. They said, keep doing it. Did you know about No Kings? Did you follow that in your house? No. Did you know anything about it? No. 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 Absolutely not. No. Was it your, no. Was it the big, no. It was Antifa, yeah. It was someone, yeah. Was it big? No. Yesterday at the Mets game, there was flag day. They had gay flags. gay. That gay flag bullshit is over. I'm telling you, LGBT is over. When I say it's over, when we had it shoved down our throat, it's not there anymore. You know how I can tell? You don't see every couple on TV as a biracial couple. Remember that one? Every time you turn on the TV, everything, whether it's a Verizon ad, whether it's anything, it was always a biracial couple. Why? Remember that? It's done. Last night was beautiful. The Trump was fantastic. It was patriotic, and I'll tell you, this army band was great. The great chops, really good. I mean, really, really good. It was wonderful. I put it on my X account. All of a sudden, these bang. It was weird because I kept thinking, if you're in Iran or if you're in Israel and you hear this noise, I can understand why we've had friends who, after war, Vietnam or Korea, they said they can't go to fireworks. They can't do it. But there we were over the Hudson last night. It was serious. So let's talk about something which is the most important. This is the most important. This is something which I love to explain to people. And let me ask you, have you ever heard of Bilderberg? Have you heard it? Have you heard about it? Have you heard Bilderberg? Most people will say, yeah, but no, you haven't. You haven't heard it. No. You haven't heard it. For decades, this is what got me started. When I first, remember, I was red-pilled in 2001, after 9/11, so 2001. And my whole world changed. And all of a sudden, I was listening to, Rahsaan Roland Kirk versus Kenny G. I was listening to Sun Ra versus Dave Brubeck. I was into the weeds and the forest. And the first thing that came across to me, thanks to, by the way, Alex Jones has been better than, not his own philosophy, what he tells you about the news that he reports, not his word. But anyway, they brought up to my attention then Bilderberg. I said, what is that? This is when globalism was first represented to me. And Bilderberg was this idea that there were these globalists that came about, these folks that came in this world, and they were, for maybe lack of a better word or better choice, they were this thing called the globalists. Now, up till now, globalism was this groovy thing, globalism. This is globalism. Sounds good, doesn't it? It's great. Globalism. Oh, yay. Okay, well, whatever. But it's not what you think it is, and it's not a good thing. It's very, very, very scary. Because this started in 1954. Now, let me ask my dear friends a question. Very, very simple, and I want you to answer me truthfully. Had you ever heard of Bilderberg before? When did you first hear about it? Because there's no way you would have been allowed to. It was it was like the mafia. It was like kayfabe in wrestling. Nobody knew about it. Now everybody does it. Do you understand this? Do you understand? When did you first hear of globalism? 2006, 10 years ago. And that was the precursor. Yes, I heard of Bilderberg in 2013. Alex Jones, Jim Tucker. God bless him. See, we know because we're different. We are the InfoWars did more than Fox News ever. I never learned anything new in Fox News. Never, ever. Let me tell you about what Fox News is. Fox News is your physician saying, you really got to get that vaccine because the CDC said, what? Yeah, you really got to get that vaccine because of it. Doctor, can I trust you? Oh, you can trust me. I'm on your side. You're not some big pharma shill. Oh, no. Trust me. Do it. And get the booster, too. And that ventilator for Uncle John. What? Yeah. And wear your mask. Really? Yeah. You sure about this? Of course I'm sure about this. Okay. That's what it is. It's treachery. It's being let down. It's being betrayed. That's what they are. And but remember, they make no bones about it. Rupert Murdoch says, I'm a billionaire. I don't give a shit one way about anybody killed and I am not going to piss off the Israeli lobby and all of this stuff or veer from this. I've got concerns. I got big concerns. If you don't understand that, there's no hope for you. Piers Morgan understands it. Piers Morgan, he's a moron. He makes Geraldo Rivera look like Niels Bohr. He understands it. If you don't understand how listen, I said this about the gun lobby. The gun lobby. I'm an ardent Second Amendment person, but the gun lobby became more involved in gun manufacturers and gun owners. I left them. And NRA and Wayne LaPierre, they were frauds. I told you this too. Same thing. The climate lobby. But guess who's coming around? Greta Thunberg. Oh, you can laugh. Remember, how dare you? Yeah, she's grown up. Things are changing. Remember, the rules change. You know, it's like every now and then they'll say, hey, vinyl's back. Really? Yeah. And kids are liking classic rock more. And kids are doing, I didn't know that. Yeah. Proms are making a comeback. You always have to see what's in, what's out, what's happening. And you always have to know this. And just keep an eye on it. And the one thing that I can tell you who's missing. I can walk into a room and say, so-and-so's not here. It's like my own buddy system. And there's a lot of folks out there who don't even understand that they're being played as shills. But it doesn't matter. It's a free country. It's a free country. Have you seen this what's her name? Tommy Lahren? What is she, like 10 years old? What is this? When she's on your... Look, you know what that's all about. Okay? You know what that's about. Now, God love them. There's a lot of change here. But let me tell you, two people to watch. Tucker Carlson, and watch what Elon Musk is doing. Watch what Elon Musk is doing. Look where he's going. Starlink in Iran. You're going to have a battle with him and Peter Thiel. Palantir versus him. This isn't chess, okay? This is 4D chess, but sometimes they're putting pieces back, they're taking pieces away, you're changing part. This isn't a game. It is evolving. It is so protean. It's not even funny. So here's the deal which we got to understand. Let's see if we can put this into perspective, which is so critical. Let's talk about our friends and the Bilderbergs, okay? But this is important. And I did this. There was a video last night. I hope you saw it. Remember, subscribe to Lionel Nation. For as far as I can remember, the mere mention, if you even mention Bilderberg, you would get labeled as, again, a conspiracy theorist. They love the names. There's always a name for you, right? You're an anti-Semite. You're a racist. You're okay. And I don't care. Many of us said, we're just tired of that. We're just not going to respond anymore to you. Call us whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But if you mention Bilderberg, you would be called a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hat lunatic, some paranoid crank. But now they have their own website. Remember this. They've been around since 1954. And whenever you brought them up, they said there is no such thing as Bilderberg. They said the same thing about the CFR. They said it about CFR. And now they have their own website. They have they publish, read their guest list. Did you see it? Go to bilderbergmeetings.org. Stacey Abrams, look who's there. Well, that's who's there in the front. And now the media openly admit that these folks exist, even if they pretend it's all just an innocent, get together and global leaders and all this kind of stuff. Bankers and tech titans and royalty. And there's a big problem with the Logan Act, because the Logan Act prohibits private citizens from being engaged in this type of behavior. Anyway, but make no mistake, this is no book club. This is the nerve center of globalist planning. This is exactly what it was. Now, The Bilderberg group met in 1954 first at the Hotel de Bilderberg in the Netherlands, okay, hence the name. And the meeting was organized to foster, quote, dialogue between Europe and North America. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Sounds nice. Except this isn't about diplomacy or friendship. It's about control. And these are globalist power brokers who operate in the shadows, and they don't want to be known. And Jim Tucker and others, and this new fellow who is with Alex, has been bringing this out, and others. And we are so grateful for them to at least give us a basis, because Tommy Lahren is not going to be talking about this. Mark Levin's not going to be talking. Nobody. They're not interested in that. Not at all. It's like watching Westerns to understand the plight of the Native American. You know what I mean? It's a lie. And look, they're not bad people. Sean Hannity doesn't begin by saying, I'm going to lie to the American people. No. He believes what he's saying. Remember, it's not that these people are stupid, but it's very easy to compromise yourself. Now, you got this, you got Ilhan Omar, you got a lot of other people. It's not either or. It's not, well, if you're not pro-Israel, then you're pro what, Ilhan Omar? I don't know where that one came from, but that's not true. So what they're doing is they crafted their narratives. This is where everybody this is important. This is where everybody in the globalists, this is where they go. This was the first place to go. This was, let me ask you a question before I forget. Ask yourself this. What would Stephen A. Smith, again, this cretin, what would he say if you found out that since 1954, every NFL owner meets secretly? They used to announce at the last minute, where are we meeting? One time it was Chantilly, Virginia. And it was always near the election. Very, very critical. This was one, if you recall correctly, this is where Barack Obama was on a plane with members of the press. And they said, stay here on this plane. And Barack Obama, I think, they purportedly went to a Bilderberg meeting. I don't know. That's what they said. But if people said, why are the NFL owners meeting? Stephen Smith would be all over it. Stephen A. Smith. If you found out that the heads of Hollywood, that all the studio heads, you'd say, what are they meeting for? But since 1954, members of the world's elite were meeting, and they would go to a hotel. I forgot to tell you. And all of a sudden, everybody there, get out. What? Here's your money. Get out. Yeah, but we have to get out. And they had security details from all over the world. People would bring their security contingents and all of this. So to make a long story very, 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 very short, people said, what is this? And Jim Tucker and Alex would go with others. They stand at this site where people came in, where people were coming in. Governor Pataki, I think it was one, in Kissinger, and they said, we're just meeting. Remember Rick Perry, the governor of Texas, he admitted going there. And it was like, what is this? It was still under the shadows. And they also said, it's not real. It's not anything for you to be concerned about. It's just, we're getting together. No. So then for some reason, after years and years of people saying to you, this doesn't exist. You have a website. Yeah, here we are. But you said, yeah, I know we did. CFR was the same way. They denied the CFR. They craft the narratives. They pull the strings. Politicians come and go, remember this, but Bilderberg remains. And I don't know about Trump's connection with him. I don't know. See, Trump is an anomaly. You can't figure, it's a good thing about Trump and the bad thing. Membership isn't permanent, but the influence is, and the group invites about 120 to 150 hand-picked participants from governments, finance, high tech, big pharma, big tech, big everything, academia, military, no press, no transcripts, Chatham House rules, no public accountability, nothing, no recording, no leaks. And if you do talk, You're expected to keep it within the group. Chatham House rule. That's not conversation. That is conspiracy, pure and simple. So this year's meeting in Stockholm, held in a guarded European hotel, of course, includes all the usual suspects: NATO officials, Silicon Valley big shots, Wall Street insiders, central bankers, energy policy advisors, and AI overlords. That's the issue. Years ago, it was CBDC, central bank digital currency. The EU and the euro was designed there. AI. Remember what I'm telling you. Artificial intelligence is the only issue of any kind that's of any importance. It will lead to the ruination. It is an existential threat. You have no idea. To me, my friends, I don't want to act all omniscient and Pythonic, but I will tell you, in my humble opinion, it is the end of us. Period. And the agenda I told you this time, artificial intelligence, Ukraine, U.S. domestic policy, energy, transitions, global financial coordination. Translation, what does it mean? Surveillance expansion, war profiteering, election interference, climate austerity, economic manipulation, focusing on the other side. Now, what's the opposite of Bilderberg? BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all of the new BRICS plus 6 or BRICS, I don't know. I can't keep them straight. And yet they tell you there's nothing to see here. They tell you. Mark Levin's not going to tell you this. Tommy Laren's not going to tell you this. Even people like Tim Pool. This is, remember, this is we are to this what bebop is to jazz. It's a different story. Now, over the years, whistleblowers and independent journalists, God bless them, like Jim Tucker, Alex Jones, Daniel Estelin, who's terrific. Other people have been tracking these meetings, telling you all about them, exposing their ties and their connections to, basically some pretty predatory policies. So guess who warned you about the EU years before it happened? Bilderberg. They told you. Oh, they didn't tell you, but that's what they talked about. Guess who connected the dots between the rise of digital currencies and centralized economic power, like that Catherine Austin Fitts? Bilderberg. Same people. Guess who told you that technocracy would how it would be used to replace democracy? Bilderberg. And every time the media smeared them, nobody reported them. Because they're shills, and you know this. Fox News, News Nation, whatever that is, Newsmax. They're okay. Remember, they're Kenny G. We're Sonny Rollins. It's a different world. They're kind of news. They're President Trump kiss ass, but that's not what we need. I don't need them to tell me. I like President Trump not because I've got a crush on him, but because I think his policies are needed, and I'm still with him 100%. So I don't like all of his policies. Now, this is Bilderberg is not a government, but it acts like one. It's not a military, but it directs wars. It's not a bank, but it prints your future in interest rates and monetary theory, especially when it comes to CBDC. Think Davos and G7 with less PR and more Intel assets. It's critical. And why don't we trust them? Because they operate without consent. No one elected them. No one can vote them out. They don't answer questions. They don't do press briefings. And yet, miraculously, after every Bilderberg meeting, after every single one, we see incredible alignment across global institutions. And I don't mean the alignment in terms of the AI sense, which is another term. I mean, it's like everything that happens, they nod their head. That's not coincidence. That's the deep state, the police state, the intel state, the shadow government, the ruling class. That's what we're talking about. It is so un-American. And for those of us who have been, ringing the alarm for years, this isn't new. And I'm telling you, I'll say it again. We've been called crazy, mocked, marginalized. I remember one time being on there's TV or radio, and I brought up Bilderberg, and they said, "What are you talking about?" Now and they still won't address it. They think of it as being quaint. Because remember, the mainstream media are owned lock, stock, and barrel by the bad guys. But now, even the most skeptical observers are waking up. And what's they're talking about? Transhumanism, 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 transhumanism. When you see the exact same people, talking points, across the IMF, World Bank, the UN, WEF, Silicon Valley, all that, when you see everybody saying the same thing within days of this, you know what's happened. When the same central planners push war in Ukraine and lockdowns, remember, digital ID mandates, remember, COVID, forget China. Look at Bilderberg, the coordination of this. You know what I could do? If I know there's a pandemic coming, short stocks, it's also, they're a part of these groups that have these, they call them tabletop kind of war games, so to speak. And AI governance, that's the issue. AI. Bilderberg is this kind of a convergent point. It's where the ghost of, Mockingbird meets ESG. Remember, forget DEI, it's ESG that matters. That's ESG scoring. That's what got you Bud Light. That's what gets you all of this stuff. Target, and they're bowing to the gay prominence. Henry Kissinger, his legacy was one thing, but now emerges with Google's future. Fiat money meets neural nets. This. You're not going to be learning this watching Mark Levin. You're not going to be doing this. Mark Levin's a good guy, but he's like watching a Frank Capra movie. It doesn't help you. And here's what they fear more than anything else. You got to remember this. They fear exposure. They operate best in the dark. And they also control the narrative, just like the same people who've controlled the narrative that if you were to say anything about Israel, for somehow you were an anti-Semite. They control the words. They control the rules. They control this. And we have to tell these people, no, we control the narrative. We do, not you. No. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The reason they had to admit their existence is because of years of independent investigation, like the Jim Tuckers and others. And their website isn't a sign of transparency. It's basically an admission of guilt. It's just enough information to make normies, stop asking questions. It's like a pressure valve, just a little bit. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a dinner party. It's a steering committee for global control. Listen to what I'm telling you. They're not trying to predict the future. They're trying to create it without you. So what does it mean that they're meeting or that they met? Remember, today's the last day. It means decisions are being made that will shape your life, your economy, your privacy, your children's future. It means the surveillance state is about to expand under the guise or under the rubric or under the con of convenience and safety and climate or whatever. It means AI regulation won't be written by ethicists. It'll be written by corporate people like the Sam Altmans and others. These are folks who see humanity as a data set. See, they are. Don't let the nerd thing. They are bigger. The old days we had the Carnegies, as they would say, the Mellons, the Rockefellers. Those are nothing. You think somebody who owns a copper mine or timber can compare it to Elon? It means the next economic crisis is being modeled right now with digital currency rollouts waiting in the wings, social media, credit scores. And yes, some attendees have ties to the same security networks and surveillance regimes that once ran programs like the 764 Club, which is, by the way, a documented online targeting operation that flagged children for behavioral testing, social engineering. And if you think that's over, you haven't been paying attention. This is bigger than anything else. Tommy Lahren, you're not going to be hearing that. Peter Ducey. You got to wake up. You got to cut that. You got to realize they are complicit in keeping you in the dark. Now, Bilderberg, let me tell you something. It's not a theory. It's a gathering. It's a happening. And if you care about freedom and sovereignty in this country and what we're all about, you should care about what they're doing behind closed doors and who attends. Because whether you know it or not, they're planning your future without you. You mean nothing to them. And another thing, I'm going to tell you something, and this may be a bit of a problem. Trust no one. Don't trust people. I trust President Trump, but I'm prepared to be disappointed. I've been disappointed my whole life. Politically, I should say. I don't believe. Elon Musk, he's not your friend. I ask people, do you trust them? I said, don't trust people. Just watch what they do. Watch what they do. Don't worry about trusting. You don't have to trust. I say people love this thing. They say, do you forgive people? I say, no, I don't forgive people. I don't forgive people ever. 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 I don't know what that means. And I sure as hell don't forget. I don't know what forgiving means. What does that mean? It's okay. Don't worry about it. No, I just don't deal with them. If anybody hurts you, you don't forgive them. They hurt you or your family. You never forget. You just don't, lay awake at night, not being able to sleep because you hate them. You kind of put it away. But don't ever forgive. I don't know what this forgiveness. I don't know what that means. It's not like forgiving a debt. You don't forget a debt. You don't forgive it. This is where in this golden rule stuff, it's a big reason why religion doesn't make any sense to me, because it's unrealistic. It's nice, but it's in today's world, we have to be more law of the jungle. Sorry. I know that's not a big favorite, but I'm a realist, and I don't care about the way things should be. To me, it's the way things are. So that's it. That's it. And be on the lookout. Make sure you sign up for that newsletter. It's coming out today. Johnny Maz, Mrs. Stacy Sullivan, thank you. Thank you so much, Raul Rodriguez. Happy Father's Day. By the way, all of fathers, the notion of the father and what's it called? Oh God, the days of, I don't know if we're going to necessarily have fathers. I don't know. But I will tell you this much. One of the biggest mistakes we make is how we always say that the father is there for discipline. The father is there to set the rules. The father is there to discipline. Excuse me. That's nice. Mothers are there to discipline too. Fathers are not there. They're not the cop. I don't know why they say that all the time. The kids have to know. There are more gay men and gay women who've had strong parents, and that has nothing to do with it. Sexuality is not dependent upon how strong your father was. And the father is not there just to discipline. The father is there to show love. And they say, you got to be a parent, not a best friend. Excuse me. Sometimes you're a best friend. Sometimes you're absolutely. It's okay to like your kids. It's okay for them to like you. This idea that fathers have to be this tough, I don't think you should hit kids. You should guide them. But you live, the best is to get guided by example. Don't, you got to tell them, you got to hit them, you got to put them in. That's ridiculous. And sad to say, some kids are just up, royally effed up. Sorry. They talk about, the parents. No. Sometimes you get a bad seed. You get some evil spawn. It's like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? You think Hunter Biden, what? What was that all about? Hunter Biden was, this guy was a defective product. He should have been pulled off the assembly line. But I don't think it's anybody's fault, per se. You can exacerbate it, but that's for other people. Remember one thing. Everybody's full of shit. And they love to speak in these, I never taught my kid. My kids know better than, really? Really? You know who are the most important people in your kids' lives? Their friends, not you. Not you. You're an afterthought. When they hit teenage years, that's when you lose them. You were the same way. This is when you break away. When you break away from kids and your youth, and you're saying, "Look, I'm an adult now," and you're kind of a little crazy, a little nuts, a little crazy. You kind of veer away from that. Don't kid yourself. It's what your friends say, if kids have friends anymore. And let me also tell you something. When bots kick in, you have no idea. You don't understand that yet, do you? I know people don't. And I'm not saying that to be cruel. I don't think people recognize it. MP says, love your commentary. Thank you, sir. I think it's sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate it immensely. I got to tell you something. I start off right now and I'm telling you, this is the way it is. I'm the weatherman. It's going to rain today. It's not going to rain today. It's going to be hot. Sometimes it's seasonal. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's whatever. By the way, check out geoengineeringwatch.org with Dane Wigington about the California fires. What this is about. You have no idea what's going on. They never talk about geoengineering. Nobody. Ever. Alex does. He did. Alex Jones is still the most important person ever. And what he does is he gives you the stories. He tells you, here's why I say this. Tucker gives you pure 100% opinion. He'll base it on fact, but it's opinion. Tucker also is a guy who is still, remember, he's a guy trying to define himself. Very hurt by Fox News. It really wants to stick it to him for basically having betrayed him because he was doing great. And he realized the hard way. See, once you're shit canned from something, it can affect you. The thing you've got to understand more than anything else is you can trust no one. When I say trust your spouse. I mean, you've got to, you can't say, I'm going to fool around on my wife because I know I don't trust women. She's probably doing the same thing. No. That's an excuse. But when you go into the information business, as I have been now since 1988, I've learned one thing. It's a business. They don't give a shit about the truth. Fox News, Newsmax, whatever, they don't care. It's about bottom line. I understand it. And once the heads of them get to be powerful. You see, there are people I know, if Trump says, hey, you want to join me playing golf on Mar-a-Lago? Oh my God. I went to Mar-a-Lago with Trump. You're falling for that? What are you, a putz? He's buying you. He knows what he's doing. You're seriously. You have no idea. I got a picture with me and Trump, and we're going like that. He's got pictures with everybody. He's got a picture with the Tate brothers, maybe. Tate brothers are going down. Don't forget I told you about Gates, Tate brothers, and other people as well. Watch what's happening. Watch Marjorie Taylor Greene say, wait a minute. Iran's going to screw things up. Understand the way it is, but see the weather coming. Read the radar. See what's happening. Look what's happening to MAGA. This is going to be the dumbest thing ever. Trump doesn't give a shit about Iran. Deep down inside, Israel, France. You think Trump stays up at night having cold sweats about Tel Aviv? Come on. Oh my God. What about Ashkelon and what? No, it's because of the lobby. It's because of Jared. Watch that, Jared. I guarantee you, if all of a sudden, if AIPAC, Adelson or whatever said, by the way, Mr. President, there's no more money. Forget it. We're out of here. Wait a minute. What about your belief? I don't care about that. Wait a minute. You mean you're not, you don't have this independent concern over, no. I don't care. Do I look like I care? I can't even find Tel Aviv on a map. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Riyadh, Jaffa, the Philadelphia corridor. Seriously, does anybody really think if you can't see through this, there's no hope for you? But remember, if you keep watching cable news, if that is your role, you're never going to understand it. And think about it this way. When Piers Morgan understands something, that's how easy it is. All right, my friends, subscribe to the I've got that newsletter coming up later. Make sure you subscribe. I've got that link pinned to this. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Great, great, great. You have no idea what she's doing. The stuff in D.C., she's there all the time. Hardest working. She's up at 4 o'clock getting trains and coming back. Oh, my God. Knows that city inside and out. And knows it like you can't believe. And support her, Lynn's Warriors. Because let me tell you something. She doesn't have a team. You're looking at the team. We don't have these interns, nothing. This is it. Everything you see, 2 people. That's it. That's it. Somebody's got to do this. Anyway, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for this. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your support. Remember, we're all in this together, brother, as the great Cam Fong, as Chin Ho said. All right, my friend. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe. I don't know when we're going to be dropping in later, but you never know. Until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. That